you how to assemble the cards from my fall class. I have this beautiful shimmery gold card and this sweet and simple "My heart is grateful for you" with the little punches. And then I love this one, and maybe I can pull out an alternate Christmas version of this if I can find that quickly. And then another really beautiful harvest sort of one with some of that, I think it's the specialty, it's like the foil paper. And then some more of that paper and some more of the cute little punches. And this one I made a custom envelope for because I loved the square and I wanted to be able to have it in its perfectly fit envelope and not have it sliding around in a traditional size. And I just love like a colored envelope once in a while. It's pretty fun. I think I have mailed these, but you might need to just to double check postage. I know on square things, even if it's not bigger or heavier than a regular envelope, there's just something about the size that they don't like and they make you pay more. So yeah, check on that. Okay, so I'll just go back to the other end and start the simpler ones first. And so then we will do this one. And the two stamp sets I use are the Gather Together and the Beautiful Autumn. And I remember that we use, this is Just Jade. And I also, if you want to get your other inks out, this one is the Cajun Craze. And you'll need Versamark with white embossing powder, cinnamon cider on this one. Just Jade again on this one, and then Early Espresso for the sentiment and for the punch things. And then if you want to stamp on your envelope, this is the Cajun Craze again. So I think that should be all of the inks. Oh, nope, I missed. On this one I have some, this is Mint Macaron, and also Cajun Craze, and then Crumb Cake. Hopefully that's all of them. So this one should go together pretty quickly. I just need to pull out the Gather Together. And my Just Jade. And my little pack here. And I have a different DSP in this one just because there wasn't quite enough for all the packets I made up for my to-go class, and then my sample packet to have the same. So we'll get to see another layout. And I have, oh, I didn't put DSP in the envelope flap. So if you have this paper, you can add that, or you can add an alternate paper or do some stamping on it, whatever you'd like. And there's no ribbon wrapped around, so you can go ahead and put your DSP down first. Oh, I like this. Makes me want to put some wheat over top of that. I think we still have wheat in a really like harvesty sort of stamp set from a few catalogs ago that has hung around. Something Blessings, I think. Now I always like to start, and this is all scattered around, so there's really not an up and down. I always go in this corner. I'm going to make sure I'm on the screen. And then I kind of line up a bottom first. And then before you really press down, I think I need to put it down. Oh, got a little bit too much. Yeah, it's easier to do it on the ground. I just kind of put my finger in the corner and kind of line it up here. Don't press too hard. And then you can come over to the side. I think that looks good. You kind of line it up simultaneously, bottom and side, and then if you can flip it over and not see a lot sticking out, you know you did pretty well. Okay, because then there's a little bit of a border, but when you fold it, I don't know, you don't really see that. But don't secure that, or really press that, because it's easier, I think, to assemble when this is flat. So then I used a lot of glue dots when I was putting these together. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do the stamping so that when I am assembling, I don't have to stop and stamp. Line up my little thingy. So I got in a habit a few years ago of sending out Thanksgiving cards. Not nearly as many as Christmas, but maybe like 25 or so to immediate family. So then you can have fun making all these cute fall cards and then just motivate yourself to send those out a couple weeks, 2 weeks or so before Thanksgiving so they have time to display it. Okay, so now we'll be ready. So first I have the 2 coppery ones, and those are gonna go just kind of about, not, you can do however you'd like, but I have them like a little bit of space in the corners, kind of like if they're touching and kind of centered ish together, centered. Like obviously this isn't both in the center, but if you take them as a whole, then there's just, you know, a pinky finger's length on top and bottom and either side. So then you can, these ones you could actually put down with your regular adhesive because they're going to be flat and all that. But with the vellum, you're going to be more selective about where you put your adhesive so that it doesn't show through. So I think what I actually did was, yeah, I guess you don't really need the glue dots. You can use, I put these onto the vellum first. So then I knew where I could stick some adhesive and it would hide behind these. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Whoopsies. Alright, so just to kind of help myself. Oh, I think I must have flipped that one over. Okay. So it does not have to be perfectly, but just so I don't have to spend too much time thinking about it. And then this one, regular way up, I think. Yeah, kind of a little bit more over here. Alright, and then I know where I can hide the adhesive. Whoops. Then these are going to be offset just a bit. Oh, that's my bottom one. There. Okay. Other one on the top. And they're going to overlap a little in the middle, but that's okay because you're going to cover it up. And then we pop this one up with some dimensionals. And flip it over. And center that over your golden leaves, copper leaves. I like that too. I like it. Pretty fun. 2 different versions. Okay, so there's that one. And this is pretty light. Oh, I did stamp an inside sentiment on mine. But I won't do that for now. There's that one. And then we can go to this next one. And I used the mint and Cajun on these. I'm going to stamp the envelope first. Oh, that's a different one. I was just looking at the color of my envelope. 2 of these are very vanilla. This paper, Gilded Autumn, it actually had some vanilla in the DSP, which I liked because I forget about the very vanilla a lot. Here those little leaves are. Alright, can't quite find, oh, there it is. I still have my other stamp on the best sized block. Okay. So on the other one I kind of filled in everywhere, but on this one I think I'm just going to kind of have a little bit more of a spaced out pattern. Just for something different. I like that. That looks really fun. And then I like to do something on the front too. And I should clean this one so I don't forget to clean it before I do some of that background stamping with the same stamp. And I'll bring in this one. Do my heart is grateful for you. This circle, I think it's just the 2-inch one, just for future reference. Yeah, it's the 2-inch circle punch. And I know I'll use that stamp again, so I'll leave that on the block. And then pull out some scrap. And when you stamp these, you want to have them along the bottom straight so that when you come, whoopsies, with your punches to do your punching, you can just come in right along the bottom and easily punch them out. So yeah, punch them in a row, bottom along the edge of the paper. So we need, I don't even know if these are really, but I think these are oak leaves. And then in the maple leaves, that one I'm fairly certain of. Something I'm trying to learn as I become older. As I've gotten older, I've become more interested in knowing different leaves and flowers. Not something I just did not pick up as a child. Okay, one of those color, and then that's Cajun phrase, and then 2 of these ones. And most of these designs I got right from the catalog. So yes, if you need to take another peek or just want to see them, you can see that one, this middle one, the one we're working on the right hand side, and then also oh, that's the other one I made. So 3 of them we found in here so far, and then maybe, oh, there's that one. That one I modified a little bit, but that one's in here too. Oh, yep, and then the so the plaid one I modified into a Christmas, and then the one in the top picture on the left is, I also modified a little bit, the first card we did. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it was. 5, yeah, so then it must have just been, oh yeah, that's all of them. There we go. Okay, and so then I need to switch out this and do 1 in each of. And while I'm doing the stamping, I'm just gonna quick grab my crumb cake and this little piece. Oh yeah, this one has distressing along the edges, and they didn't really say, but I just kind of figured out. I went like this and just kind of roughed up the edges with my scissors, and I thought that the look achieved what it looked like, or this technique achieved the look from the catalog. So pretty quick and easy. Gets a little harder to maintain that to the ends though, but it's really easy along the middle. So definitely can tell. Distressed. Okay. Then my leafies again with my crumb cake. Couple up here. clean this off and tuck these away so I don't lose them. They're just so small. Come along and punch, oh, wrong one. Oh no, that's correct. Punch those little things out. Don't want them to fly all over. You can turn it upside down when you punch. Then my maple leaf. Okay. Then we can do some assembling, and we will again put dimensionals on the back here. When I do a full back, I use 6. Row of 3 on each side and down the middle. Last year, I had fall cards that I didn't send out before it got to winter, so I still have a stack of them, and I brought them out onto my desk so that I will see them and send them out this year, so I don't have another stack of Thanksgiving cards or fall cards hanging around. Okay, and then we use some mini dimensionals on these mini punched things. These are little sheets from the kits, the paper pumpkin kits. They always have way more dimensionals and glue dots than you need. It's kind of nice. It is nice. Very nice. Alrighty. So then, got a little, oh yeah, we should maybe do this part first, just because in case this is off, I want to have them this centered, so then those can be nicely spaced around it. And where are you, little ribbon? Oh, not all the way over here, I think. Yeah, that seems like the right length. So then I think what I will do is put, even though we pop this up, I put sometimes a little few strips of this so that this can stick to it as I help you arrange on here. Okay, and so then I just need to adjust a little bit down, a little too much sticking out here. Excuse me. Hopefully you're able to do this at the same time and be occupied while I'm not doing anything much here. Oh good, that's working out pretty well. I thought I might have to snip some off or pause for a minute. But yeah, it's a tiny bit longer of a loop, but if you really want to, you can go like this and fix it from that end. Or you could just leave it. It does not have to be perfect, but I think that was pretty good. Put some irregular ones. And I'm going to stick one in the middle over top of it. This doesn't add very much bulk. Sometimes if you have a dimensional over top of a ribbon, it pops it up too much. Okay, center that. I like it. Now we can do these things down here. And the last one in the little space. Wow, I thought this seemed a little more complicated, but that went together pretty quickly too. Very fun and cute. Okay, next one. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to pull out my thing from here. This one has our note card and envelope, and we use the season of thanks and the gather together. And this is Cajun Craze again. Oh no, this is the cinnamon cider. It has an orangey look to this brown. It's kind of fun. So then this is full strength and stamping off. And I just kind of did it in this alternating pattern. Sometimes it's not going to line up perfectly, but I didn't mind. Oh no, what was I thinking? Oh well, there we go. Somebody will get a good laugh. Okay. And then we'll keep that out and we'll do this, but we will carefully plan how this will go and stamp the words in the right direction. Same thing with stamp full strength and stamp off. And then we'll do full strength here, stamp off here, maybe a full strength here. Okay, I'm just gonna see how this looks, make sure I don't need any more stamping. It'll be covered. Yeah, that's pretty good, you can read it. Then this one we can put to our card like this. Match up the corners. Just making sure it's still recording. Seems to be going well. Do what I always say I do. Start in the bottom corner. Pretty good. And then this is popped up again. And this one I did a little differently because I wanted it to be fairly close. Like, you just have to be a little bit creative with the center, and then like maybe a little extra just to help that center stay popped up. You can debate if you think there's enough space on the tops for more support. I just really liked this paper showing up through the punched out piece. Then I have my little pile of my Christmas ones that I made of, oh no, these must be from the Thanksgiving ones that I prepped to use on something. Okay, and then our little ribbon piece. And so then I will not take the time to stamp this on camera, but I would get my embossing buddy and rub that, and then stamp this in Versamark, pour the white embossing powder over and heat that, and then I put dimensionals on the back. I think I did 3 just across the middle like this. I won't take these off, I'll just show you how I did it. Then I put some 3 glue dots on here, and positioned that over like this, and then did 3 more glue dots on the back, and then I put that down here, and I had my thing. And then you can take your embellishments, and I did 1 up here and then the other 2 down here. So that should give you a good idea for that one. And then this one actually goes together really quickly too. We'll need the Just Jade again, and the My Heart is Grateful for You, which I left out because I knew I would need it, and my correct packet. This is the Stitch Rectangle dies, and I used to be like hesitant to use them when I had the old Big Shot from Stampin' Up! Because it just would take forever to get the dies to punch out. I had to add paper shims in there, and it still would be like stuck in the dies and it would rip more, and it was hard to get it to work well. And then I got the new Stampin' Up! Embossing die cutting machine, and it works so fast and easy. You just do the regular sandwich that they show you right on the pad, the cutting pad, or the platform I should say, and it cuts the first time, no extra paper, it's easy to get out of the die, it's so much more fun to use these intricate stitched dies with the new machine. It works very well. Worth the money. Okay, so then you assemble your layers first before you put the big layers on the card. This one I just used snail, and then the early espresso layer I popped up. So Stampin' Up!, I've mentioned in other videos, they give us a recipe list for all the cards, but they don't tell you how to assemble it or the dimensions. So even though the idea's in the catalog, you as a demo or customer still have to figure out how to put it together, and then the demos just get the little boost of not having to quick figure out which ink color and which embellishments. You can just look at that list really quick. Oh, I got a little thingy stuck on there. I think that's called release paper technically. So these are the reverse of each other. You can just kind of line them up, guesstimate a little bit, or you can measure if you really want to know, and just don't push it down super hard, and then you can move it if you get a little bit off. Got a little not quite to the top. Okay. Oh, more of these little release papers sticking around. Okay. This one does have a right way up. Okay. And then this one I popped up. Center that one, and then a couple more dimensionals on here. yeah, let's stop there and do these little sprigs first. So these ones I do think that the glue dot helps, and this is with the sprig punch. Might be the first time I've used it since I got it after wanting it for a long time. I have not used it very much, and this was a die that they actually used in the catalog that I didn't have, and I thought a sprig punch will be faster, and I have it. So then if you want, you can just kind of go from the corners here excuse me and just kind of put that down first. You'll probably find that it's gonna be just fine. So that's how I did it. Love it. Sometimes it's just fun to take another design and do it and have the fun and not have to spend so much time to think of your own, although I do enjoy that challenge sometimes. And then the last one, everything left in here. And I am excited to show you guys this envelope, because I don't know about you, but I forget about my envelope maker thing and I don't do it as much, and I just want to make sure you guys know how that goes. So we will need a scrap paper again to do our punches. And we only need early espresso because some of these are stamped off to get the lighter tone. And then the thank you is also early espresso. I flagged this I flagged it myself, not with a punch, because I didn't want to have to figure out what the length is before punching. So do this first and then flag. If I'm a little off camera, I apologize. Down here. And you know you have enough room. You can flag it and not cut off too much paper. Then we can get, okay, we use the acorn one on here too, so I only have 2 of the tiny ones, and there are 3 of these stamps, so we'll have to take turns. So both of my acorn ones are full strength. And then the rest of them are stamped off, it looks like. Yep. So 2 of that stamped off. Whoopsies. And then 2 of the maple leaves stamped off first. Punch them. I did feel like these cards gave a really good sampling of all the products in the suite. Some of the ribbon, punches, some of the embellishments, both of the fall sets. I always like that. Oh, I think I missed one of my maple leaves. Alright, now I'm going to take a second to get these punches out of my way. Put them in my punch holder. clear a little space. And then we can put this on top of here. There is a very small border, so take care when you're adhering that. Just do the end, and then you can line it up as you go. And then you have to flag that. So the trick is, don't come up all the way to the middle. Leave so that you can make a border still. And not get too close to your white. Wow, that turned out pretty well. So then we can go ahead while we have these mostly flipped over and put a mini dimensional on those. All the squares are 1 inch by 1 inch. And this is 3.5 by 3.5, so it's really 7 by 3.5 scored at 3.5. So then, if you want to follow this thing, better put my acorn away. We can also flip all these over, because there's, you know, the rougher edge will be the back, and put a little strip of my, not snail anymore, but Stampin' Seal. Oh yeah, it says it right on there. So now, because it's so small, I'm not going to spend the time to outline it. I'm just going to do it in the middle. So if you want it to be a little bit more secured down, you can put more snail on it. But I think I'm good with loose edges if there are. I didn't do that one. Okay, that one I did. So I'm just going to do the same pattern that I have up on my other card. Maybe I'll start with a center one. And about the same border. Gentle, because you might have to rearrange it. Or, you know, nudge it. Oopsies. So that's pretty good, centered that way. Let's check it on the down. A little bit closer, I should say, would be better. Okay, so then you can make your choice. There is a little bit of more of a border, but that would involve moving all 3 of them up, and I am okay with a little bit bigger border because this is all pretty good, so I'm gonna go with that. No one else is going to look as closely as you will, so I just kind of have adjusted how much extra fussing I do now, because you can enjoy it more if you're like, yeah, that's pretty good, and no one else is going to look as close as I am, so they might not even notice that it's not quite right, or not, I shouldn't say not right, but not quite equal borders everywhere. So there you go. Take a brief look. That looks pretty nice, so then you know you're good. This is my favorite part. It's so easy, just putting these little, I don't know, it's like tic-tac-toe, kind of. I guess I could easily take all these off first so I don't have to do it in between. Assembly line. Goes faster. Little acorn in the middle. So cute. Tilt that one the other way. Excuse me. Now this one I would wait, because I had to adjust that a bit with the ribbon. So I think it's easier to put that on after. This is popped up, full size, just a few across the middle. Ooh, the Brewers game starts in about 20 minutes. Today is the first day of the playoffs, 2020. They barely made it in, but they still made it. And I'm excited to see if they can beat the Dodgers, who are heavily favored. Cover up those ones a little bit more. Oh, how did that work out with my spacing of those dimensionals? So yes, you might have to adjust some dimensionals as you position over here, or you could do these first and tuck those, so you can work out how you need to with that. But it worked out for me, thankfully. Oh, but I forgot my ribbon. There we go. Can't go perfectly correct. So then I think what I did was put some Stampin' Seal on here, and then put this, and it doesn't have to go all the way to the edge. It can stick a little bit so that you don't have it too close, and then just make sure it's sticking out here. Then you've got your sticky on the back and dimensional still on there. So then it might actually, yeah, stick up. Okay, yeah, it just pushes a ribbon down with a dimensional, and it actually still worked really well. And then you can put this where you want it, if you want it over there or under here or under the, but over a little bit. If this is making sense, I think I like that. It's under the sentiment, but a little bit over the ribbon. This one I had it a little bit higher, but it's all still good. Okay, so there's your little cute card. And now to quick do, oh yeah, and you can do your flap. And either one of these with this can be top or bottom. You just, whatever you make your top, don't take off this until you're ready to mail it, because then it will adhere onto things before you're ready. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this up because I can stamp this later. And I did all three, and I just randomly stamped it. I think I did one at a time, like do this one, do this one, do this one, then come back with that one and fill in. So I didn't just take like the acorn and do all the acorns. I did alternated between the three stamps so that I could evenly, closely space them together and not have wrong spacing with not enough area to fill in, right? If that makes sense. So yeah, don't just do one stamp and then another stamp and then another stamp. You do one stamp of one stamp of another, one stamp of the third, back to the first, the second, the third. That's how I do that. So then you want to fold in your side pieces first, and then you fold up your bottom, and that adheres down nicely there. And then so then this is like 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and it just slips right in there. And then you would take those off when you're ready and fold it over and have your cute stamping there. And then on here you can write it. This color would be light enough to write on it, or you can take a little label and like a blank mailing label where you can print on kind of thing and just write on it. And then really quickly, this is the thing we use. And so my card was 3.5 by 3.5. So then right here it says card size, and then it tells me the paper size is 6 by 6, and then tells me my score line is 3. So that meant that I took my paper and put it through here over until it reached the score line of 3, and then I took my, and this was a full sheet of paper. So I went over to here for the 3, and then I scored it down here and punched, and then when you turn it, you have this score line you just did. You line that score line up here, and you don't use the 3 anymore. You use that score line you just made, line it up in here, score again, punch, and do that 2 more times on each side using the score guide, lining up that score mark you just made. So there are videos on this. If you don't have it and you want to learn how to make your own, you can definitely learn with a video too. Okay, well, I think that is all. So one last time, we've got this one and this one that was my version, and then this one and this one and this one. So that was our fall class, and thanks for joining, and I hope that helps you as you go about assembling your cards. Thank you.